What is happening, Carib Boys and girls? This is your boy, Carib Boy, with another TCG Talk with Carib Boy. Who we have on the Zoom today? What we talking about? Let me see. What is happening, Carib Boys and girls? This is your boy, Carib Boy, with episode 2 of TCG Talk with Carib Boy. And our guest today, we have, coming back with us, we have the specialist. And new with us today, we have Butcher and Brando. Welcome, fellas, to the vibes. Let me get it here. Let me get those cameras up. All right, so just for a little recap, Specialist was with me before, but Specialist just give the any new audience a little insight on who is the Specialist, how long have you been in the TCG in locally, and share anything you want to share about the game and yourself.
Like I said last week, I've been playing since 2018 in the Zorak Lycan Rock format. Won several local tournaments, top a few online tournaments, never won any though. But yeah, that's it for me.
Nice. So next, let me hear from Butcher.
Richard Butcher. Most of the fellas in Pokemon just call me Butcher. I started playing wrong night match. I can't remember what year that was. Night match. Then I went to Taco Bulu. Stopped playing for a while and started back playing like last year with Ptcgo and just enjoying the game for now.
So that tournament that you come and beat me up with Ptcgo, that is when you start back, is what you're saying.
Yes.
Remember that one, right?
Because I went and buy the three decks, put it together and get whatever extra cards I needed and come out with it together.
All right, nice. And finally for this episode we have with us Brando.
Yeah. All right, so I believe I started last year. If it wasn't last year, it's the year before, at the ending of the Ptcgo era. I came in fresh without any experience, and it was actually the specialist who took me under his wing and taught me how to play properly. And now we just out here topping and, having a good time. That's about it. You'll probably see me at every tournament. But yeah, that's about it.
I forgot to mute myself there. Nice, fellas, nice. So now that we have the introductions out of the way, what a weekend we had with the World Championships closing off there in London. I know we each, we was kind of juggling work and everything, trying to view the vibes. And I think we all agree that it had some really nice moments up in there, had some surprises. The winner I will only mention here is Andrzej. I can't pronounce the man's last name properly here. Skubal.
I only think I can pronounce is Andre. Andre.
Yeah, from Czech Republic, right?
J silent.
The J silent?
Yeah. I swear it sounds like Andrzej or Andre. I don't know if that comes with the accent,
Andre.
But yeah,
But then again, the commentators on Pokemon does pronounce people's name too.
Yeah, I swear I was picking up at Andrzej.
Well, yeah, them say Andre.
Yeah, but Andrzej from Czech Republic is the new Pokemon TCG World Champion. And yeah, so we want to kick off the discussion today. Just commenting on the World Championships, topic, thoughts, anything. Anybody feel free who want to jump in at whatever point. It's pretty open here. Pokemon World Championships.
So when it comes to the finals, I believe it was good games, but the semi-final games was better. Like, to me, the semi-final games were more interesting watching at it. I think it could have been a little more interested in the finals, but it was good. It was a good tournament overall.
Any particular semifinals you have in mind with that comment?
Andre versus the
Ryota.
next guy, Ryota.
Ryota, yeah.
That semifinals was real good.
Right, so everybody else agree with that the semifinals was a bit more intense and exciting to watch.
Yeah, that was arguably one of the best matches of the top 8 players. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. If you could jog my memory, was that the real back and forth? It ended 2-1 in favor of Andre.
Yeah.
Right. But what was the highest point of tension or like remember with that match that made it that exciting?
When Ryota went Luminion to search boss, and then he starboard to search our next boss, and boss, and just left it like that. And his opponent had to either money or not money, and his opponent thinking if he used the Luminion, I doubt he grabbed the second boss and didn't play the money. And when he attacked and passed his turn, Ryota just use the second boss up the next Pokemon and win. That was real good.
Yeah.
And he had the money. Yeah.
And he had the money in hand. Yes, I remember.
Yeah,
I remember the commentators going wild with that one. Yeah, that was And it was a nice bluff. It was a godlike
because
kind of bluff.
Even for me, I wouldn't expect my opponent to go Luminion to search bosses, then to Arceus to search bosses and another card to hold 2 bosses in their hand. I know they might hold on to it or leave it in the deck so that they can grab it at a later time.
Yeah,
I would not expect that either.
And it worked.
So it was a good proof.
It worked too.
Yeah.
It won game 2.
Right. In terms of, I don't know how much of the last podcast or discussions Brando and Butcher would be a part of, heard or hear about, but the specialists, myself and Chin, would have made some predictions for the Wolves in terms of what we think would win, what we think would top. So I would allow or ask specialists to kind of guide it here with me. And you guys come in, if you know about the predictions we made, we could probably just refresh the predictions we had. Well, we all agreed that we think Palkia would dominate the place. It had the most potential to win, but we all kind of agreed that we feel it wasn't going to win. Yeah.
Right. So you want me to go ahead?
Yeah, go ahead.
So obviously Palkia was the most popular deck in that tournament. I believe if I may stand corrected, but it's about 45-50% of the players played Palkia. So it was the most popular deck, right? Generally speaking, it is the best deck, right? It is the tier 1 deck. It is, right? But the top 3 decks in the tournament, first place, second place, and third, is decks to counter Palkia, right? Those decks I wouldn't consider a good all-round deck. Those 3 players who came in first, second, and third came specifically to beat the Palkia matchup.
And would you say they also tech for
yes,
mirror matches
but
as well?
They also tech for like mirror matches, and they tech for what they thought would be popular. Because like the Japanese variant playing the Moltres, the Galarian Moltres.
He played one Moltres.
He played 1 Galarian Moltres and 2 Dark Energy. That was for the Mew matchup. And then he was playing the CGY, which covers both the mirror matchup and any other Arceus build. So yes, it wasn't like the main objective was to beat Palkia, but the tech for the other decks pretty good, I would say.
No, but they didn't bounce up other decks really. Well, besides maybe finals, right?
Yes.
I believe the person who came second, he played 7 Palkias in his Swiss, and then 2 Palkias in top 8.
Mm-hmm.
Played
I
9
said he
Palkias.
walk into the finals.
Yeah.
He had a brisk, cool walk
They-
straight to the finals.
He didn't have us to do nothing else, right?
Yeah.
He
Just
didn't
had to
need
stick to the game
emojis
plan.
because he didn't need emojis because he didn't play any Mew, and he probably played the Hisuian, the CDY and finals or something,
Yeah.
maybe, right? But the main attackers for him in that tournament was Flying Pikachu.
Yeah. And Pikachu was a very good attacker.
Correct is right.
And it was.
Yeah, like I didn't even consider when man started to use fly. I didn't even bother to read what others do. That is the other attack on the VMAX, or that is a V attack.
That's EV.
Right.
That'd be.
But what's all your thoughts on the finals match itself? Because I was looking at the I didn't get to see Andre list, but Shimada would have posted his list on Twitter, and Limitless would have taken that and put up the list as well. I want to say that the only difference I could imagine was the Jolteon and Eevee to replace with Bidoof and Bidoof.
So it was Andre was running 4 bosses orders, the barrels, and Shimada, or I can't remember his name, Daichi, was running
He was running 3
line.
bosses.
He was running EV line, the Galarian Moltres, and
1-1 the CDI line.
Also Andre was running 2-2 in the
CDI.
The Desi lineup, while Shimada was running a 1-1.
Right. I think before they meet up, I would have called it that that Andre did have the advantage on him because they dead cards. And I think in a post, I don't think it's my words. I think I saw a post where Andre said they were the Jolteons his dead cards.
Andre said that in his interview.
Okay.
His interview after winning semifinals.
Yeah.
He said that in his interview.
Right.
Go into final.
So I guess what I read would have been a quote, somebody writing, transcribing. He's saying that, and I think I read that and I was like, wait, it's true. Cause Shimada would have real locked down them Intellions and Sobbles and them with the Jolteon. I see gunning for it and thing.
Yeah, and then playing at 2-2-3.
Yeah. And then he bunks up a man that they really studying,
And the next thing that would have given Andre the advantage was the 2-2 line in the CGI. Because he would have an easier time to he'd have be able to use it twice essentially.
Yeah. So I think whoops. Any any thoughts on the one Mew that I was rooting for?
That was my favorite matchup.
Honestly,
Go ahead.
I think the Mew had the second highest chance of winning that finals. If it won against Ryota, it was Andre play. If it had won that matchup, I think it had the second highest chance of winning overall.
I find the match was close. I find the match was a little close.
Yeah, the match was real close.
I never see a Mew deck brick so hard before, honestly. That was immaculate.
Yeah, after the first game, I'll get a little lost. I would say, wait, Mew just go and get licks. And then the second game, I think he win the second game, correct? And then they went to the third.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that was seeing them and Playboy was.
I remember.
Yeah, I'll probably have to jump back in the stream.
And yeah, that game was real back and forth.
Yeah, you couldn't tell it was anybody's game. For a lot of them. A point I wanted to make, specialist, not a single name we call out last episode. Make a dent. Make a dent in this World Championship. No, wait. Before we move on, I wanted to bring up something here in this podcast here. Why you go win the North American International with a deck
Oh
and
Lord.
then come with a variant that you beat? I don't understand the logic. I think the man brighter than that. If all I can help me understand his logic
I
and
understand the
thinking,
logic.
yeah, hit
but-
me.
I understand the logic. Is basically play the best deck you think the best deck in the format and hope you don't hit your weaknesses.
Exactly.
Because
So
yeah.
it's just like what I explained earlier. Palkia is the best deck generally, right? It have the best matchups. It's just that the flying picker deck have is a type advantage, right? It hits the weakness. It basically only have that win against Palkia. It have a 50-50 against any other deck.
And then
When
50%
Palkia have
food.
that better.
50% food for flying Pikachu in the whole championships.
Mhm.
So it because the odds was so much Palkia, it raised the odds of Pikachu winning it anyway.
Mhm.
And here we see
But
how
I think he
I'm not
was-
even saying Arceus are saying Pikachu win it.
Facts.
Bidoof win it up. Bidoof win it up. Just
Bidoof,
say.
yeah, Bidoof. All right. So so that I think
Bidoof draw the winning cards.
I think that could wrap up a nice thing that we talk about some memorable moments. You know, we cover the topic there. Anything anybody else feel like we left out to chat out? I want to share my screen here. There was an interesting thing that took place. Specialist, I think you up. There was
Right,
an
so-
interesting thing that took place. The
For the
asymmetrical.
first time in
Yeah, go ahead.
the
Take it
first
over
time I
there.
believe is in 7 years. I believe the last 2014 was that 8 years. 8 years.
Mhm.
So the first time in 8 years, Pokemon have decided to do asymmetrical cut, right? What is asymmetrical cut? Asymmetrical cut. If you know what is bubble, right? If you bubble at 9th place, if you notice Calvin Connor in the screen here, bubble at 9th place. But if you notice also, he have the same points as Otavio Govea, right? And well, basically from 4th place to 8th place have the same points as 9th place. So it wouldn't be fair to the person who came 9th, who have the same points as people who in top 8, right? So they give him that opportunity to play the 8th seat, right? And it had a match between Otavio Govera and Calvin Connor to decide who will top 8. So that person in 9th place get a opportunity to came into the top 8. He failed though, but yeah.
Okay. So, do you remember that match? Did he have a
Yeah,
chance?
I watched it.
I think it was. I think it like. I mean, I don't remember
I
play
think
for
it was-
play.
It was 2-0.
2-0. He went out right.
Yeah, it was Pal camera match.
Right. Otavio would have edged him there. I thought it was the reverse. I thought Otavio was 9th and took Connor's spot. But when I look for the list and I saw it was okay. So Otavio had to be, and that is a neck that didn't neither part of it. You make your 8, but because of the asymmetrical cut, you had to fight for your place.
Yeah.
You had to fight for
But
your
I think
place.
I like that. I like that more than just, especially like for World Tournament, for people to
Yeah, for
bubble
Worlds.
out at like 9/10 and you have the same amount of points.
From
I
4th
like it
place.
more for that.
From 4th place to 9th is the same point. So yeah, I
At the
agree.
same point.
I want to agree with you that
So it would feel real bad to bubble out. And I think like in the senior divisions, it had even more people at the same point. So they had a little more games for the symmetrical cuts.
right. And as you mentioned,
Right, so-
seniors there. I know I cut you off, Shaq, so you'll just come back to where you was going to say there. As you mentioned, seniors, let me just shed some light on the at least the finals and what won for the seniors and juniors. But before that, Shaq, if that way is going to, well, go ahead. But whatever is going to say.
I was gonna continue on the asymmetrical cut.
Oh, well, go ahead now. Go ahead now. See what I was going to say.
What I was going to say is this tournament, the only person who bubbled was ninth place. So ninth place played eighth place to make that top eight, right? However, let's say in a different scenario, if ninth and tenth place have the same points as people in top eight, then the seventh seat will play ninth place, and the eighth seat will play the tenth seat, right? And
Oh,
whoever win those, so this one just happens to be one player, but it
right.
can be a situation with more.
Right. I think that is the explanation I was hearing, and it kind of confused me. And then when it happened with just one match, I was like, oh, so simple. But as you explained it there, I understand a bit more that it could have been a bit more complicated according to how the points was distributed. So I'll just briefly just say for the juniors, it was a Palkia versus Palkia. So obviously a Palkia won. And for the seniors, it was a Palkia versus, surprisingly, my OG boy, the Rapid Strike Urshifu, a straight Rapid Strike Urshifu, no kind of big tech and thing. Any thoughts on those two finals, they fellas?
I was real surprised to see Shifu in the finals. But it was good to see it there because it would mean that any deck could win. It just needed to play a little better. Just needed to play out a little better for it.
Get good. Anybody else?
Brandon.
No, I didn't watch that.
Right.
I, however, was a little disappointed in the match because after time was called in game 2, and finals is 75 minutes, if I'm correct. And time was called game 2, and because it's finals, they can't put it as a tie. There must be a declared winner, right? So they had sudden death.
First knockout.
Right? Basically first knockout. And obviously, Palkia playing first. Turn 2 Palkia is going to, knock something out.
I think he knocked out a Subtle and win the thing.
Yeah, that was it. Palkia just knocked out a Subtle and that was game. So it was a disappointing finals.
You feel like the Shifu didn't get to really slap up nothing.
Yeah, Shifu didn't get a fair chance there.
Yeah.
There's the next thing that I don't like with it. I think like finals shouldn't have a time limit really.
Play out.
Finals supposed to play out until the game comes to an end.
I
I guess it's because it might go too long for what their purpose is, but finals supposed to play out. Like finish.
Yeah. And I had the same thought, thinking about it as well. I just remember, I was like, and then I say, well, if they need to put a time limit like on a football game, but then a football game ends on a score. I have a mechanic to end it, so this is totally different. So if anybody was to try, well, football game does have a time limit, we could tell them, well, no, it's different. All right. So moving on now, we want to talk about, well, World's done. So what now? I was having a conversation with one of the TOs, one of the official TOs standing for tournament organizers, and just chatting and asking about, we just fresh off our Worlds. The first podcast was talking about dreams of being there, seeing a Trinidadian up in our World Championships. And I asked the question, what would it take for a Trinidad TCG trainer to reach in Worlds? And the answers was quite simple. We need to have tournaments. We need to play. People need to come out to tournaments, attend tournaments. I even get a number. If we could have a consistent set of tournaments monthly with 16 players, real thing could happen, real doors could open. And I thought it would be it would take much more than that. And we have more than that. To players, that is, to have tournaments. So I think it's a real possibility. And that is where I want to take the discussion now. What now? After Worlds, we want to go. Is our big dream, as everybody who play the game dream. And also talking about what coming in terms of new cards and new sets and new generations and all kind of things. So it looking like Brando had something on the tip of his tongue to say there. Pass it over to him too.
All right. So even since last year, when I now started really getting into the game, I was always trying to figure out. Cause I used to play VGC before I was playing TCG, and now TCG kind of become the main for me. I was like, what I have to do to just step on that world stage. I don't feel like I have the skill level right now to perform there, but that's not a full stop. There's something to work towards, right? Now, the same thing you're saying about it locally, it's very simple, 16 people, but I think somehow we need to have some kind of incentive that'll make people say, hey, tournament, we had to jump out, something. I don't know what that something is, but I just don't think it have that thing there to convince people to actually come out and play the game. I don't know if it's some people afraid of losing, or I don't want to believe it's just people don't have time, because it will always have a Saturday where people will have the time. It's not like it have to be every weekend, And I don't know, like I trying to think every night I just lying down trying to figure out what we could do to really spark interest in the competitive side of this game, because the collector side of it is very dominant. That is something that has been there even since we were small. We were kids. We would go in the shop, the Chinese shop, buy all them base one cards that probably worth hundreds of thousands now that we can't find anymore. But that's not the point, right? So as I say that, I actually have some things in plan to upcoming to try to get people interested, but I don't want to talk talk until I actually have the things in order. So it's just something to look out for in the future, and when that actually starts to solidify, I will actually speak on it more. But that's what I plan to do. I plan to get people interested into coming and playing this, so that everybody will have a chance as a family to go and put Trinidad on the map for something other than football, even though we're not even on the map for football, but you know what I mean.
And the map for bad cricket right now, but wait, that's an
Yeah, we're not good enough. We're not good.
yeah. Let me stick to TCG. Butcher?
I think, like what Brandon's saying, I think it's just fellas need to have a goal to work towards and something now. Like how we'd have regionals in Yu-Gi-Oh! And stuff, and then fellas coming out for it. It just needs to have something there for them to work towards. And it's just to try to introduce people to the game gradually and get them in playing and see if we can try to grow it little by little. The next thing is to try to it have regionals that will happen in Latin America, or it will have internats happening in Latin America, is to try to go to those, to try to who could try to get experience and try to show that Trinidad could play the game and we interested in the game, to try to get eyes on Trinidad itself.
Yeah, Shaq, anything to add to that?
I also have something in mind to make the game more consistent in terms of players. I hope minds don't collide with Brandon's idea.
Let it collide. Let it collide.
Right, but my idea isn't mainly for the new players. My idea is for the players to be consistent. Right, so hopefully, again, I don't hope it collides. Right, and I'm trying to get that in place this season for the 2023 season.
Oh, I mute Mr. Right. Nice, good. I mean, for me, that's really glad to hear, and I could say too that I have plans, and I think I'm outside of this episode. We could talk, in confidence, of course, and see where our minds at, and if there's power, in not necessarily combining, but in the simplest way, support each other's ideas if it can work together, and it would probably might just work together real easy. We don't know.
Mhm.
My plans is just really to add to that same thing Brando is talking about, incentives and support the stores. Because I mean the stores have their own the official stores that had the limitations in terms of like prizes and stuff. There are new collectors in the game who are willing to contribute to and make things a lot more attractive and supporting that way. And I've seen some things kind of grow and look attractive, but then sometimes you don't even know. Sometimes people don't know. Only if you're there, you go know what is available. If you're part of the network, that is. And me, Carib Boy, the brand, the person, the personality, growing. I think I want to offer that. I mean, I'm done a Pokemon channel mainly anyway, Pokemon and gaming, yeah. So use what I have and what I've built to get it out there. I think, and it's even last week hearing Lucien say he get in the game because I watching my video. That hit me kind of hard. Because Lucien is one of the top players in the game right now locally.
Mhm.
So one of it.
Okay, good.
Right? And most active too, because he showed me all the online stuff he would take part in, and he records and thing, and he trying to build a reputation online and stuff like that. So I like what he doing.
And that is good for the community as well. Him building a reputation online.
Well, the only problem I have with online is that Limitless don't have our flag.
Yes, it does.
No, it
You
doesn't.
get it?
I make an account, a new account, and I have my flag up. Let me double check that and see.
Yeah.
Yes.
Well,
I make a new account today in work, and I get to choose my flag.
you can thank Lucien for that. He might be right then. Yeah.
Yeah, I gotta check that. No.
Check and see.
No,
I'll look
I will
in-
check
I'll
that
check
right
in to
after.
see.
I will check that right
Look,
after.
on a play information, I have Trinidad and Tobago, and look my flag there. I seen it.
Oh, lovely. I go
Alright.
and adjust that
Yes,
one
mate.
time. That's
Boop,
big
boop.
news.
You know what to do?
That is real big
One
news.
time.
I
That's
see
big for
somebody
me, though.
had Brazil, somebody had Venezuela. I was like, dog, where should
Something tell me to check today. And when I check and I see
was
the flag,
updated, it wasn't
I had
there.
the US
Well-
flag. Yeah.
I did message Limitless like mid last year, and I never get a reply.
They must be
So I
Satan
thought-
leave you on red dog.
Yeah,
I-
no,
I don't
and
know,
that did work.
but
That did work. Look thing happening here. Like people, I
Let me
mean,
take credit for it.
people like go understand, eh? I mean, people who don't play the game and stuff, but that big for we flag on one of the biggest platforms for online play right
well,
now.
I now change it there, so I gotta represent.
You know what we gotta do? Yeah, tomorrow. Me and Lucien go jump out and try
No,
to
let's hit
be
that
on
hard,
the
hit
top.
that hard, get it, raise that flag high.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what it is now. So that's real good news. I want to take the discussion now to upcoming sets and upcoming generation. Now we get a sneak peek of Scarlet and Violet EX and thing coming back. We saw the Coridon and Maridon. It reminds me a lot of Zamazenta and Zacian with the ability. Of course, we didn't see the HP, we didn't see the area with the basic, what going on there. And in the move description, there's a space between basic something Pokemon. So all these hidden things people talk about and
It seems like it might be a new type of Pokemon, or it might be a new type of Pokemon and a new type of energy, but we're not sure.
Yeah.
But I really excited for EX because I like playing like stage 1, stage 2 decks. Like some of my favorite decks. So going back to having big competitive stage 2 decks, I would be really interested in that.
And that is how that works. Because I mean, I just come in at Vivid Voltage. So
it have basics as well. So it have basic, it have stage 1, it have stage 2. But the fact that it has an option where you can play big stage 2 decks and be just as competitive maybe with like a V Pokemon. A V Pokemon just coming down and it hashing you for 220.
So it's like this Decidueye. So it's like this Decidueye evolving up to match Eternatus HP or VMAX HP like that.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes.
I understand.
So you're going through the entire line and wherever the EX landed in the line, it would either have more HP and the attacks might be a little cheaper.
Yeah.
Because of the work you have to put in to get it onto the board.
All right.
From that is from what information I was seeing. At least from the kind of video they show, or he was explaining like with the Magnezone, he was saying because it's a stage 2 Pokemon and the work you might have to put in to get to there, they put the attack course of the energy. Like if you're watching Magnezone, you can see the energy course of the Magnezone attacks. I think it's like 1 or 2 energies.
Big damage.
Yeah, and it's a good. They didn't. I don't remember. I don't think they show you the entire effect of the attacks, but they show you the energy course, which is competitive enough where I can say I could go with stage 2, and especially if it's doing enough damage, I can build a stage 2 that can be competitive.
Right.
Right now, if I build a stage 2 deck, I go and lose.
Yeah. Well, I mean, you're playing at stage 1, eh? And you're bad.
Playing it. Yeah, but
Right. And what about
like
anybody else?
true.
Anybody else want to talk about the EX? Well, I mean, me and Brando kind of babies in the timeline.
Yeah, I don't know nothing about EX, so I can't.
Specialist, anything you reminiscent for you, and what are you looking for?
I really didn't pay much attention to that part of the event. I have no knowledge really about it. I just heard from other sources.
Right.
So I don't know any official stuff, you know.
Nice. But I mean, we all excited for a new generation, and of course, new mechanics and things to come. So I guess that is a given. But what about, fellas? We still in Sword and Shield block, the last and final year of Sword and Shield, and we have a bacchanal coming here. At least for me, I kind of saying I don't want to shake up the whole scene. I don't want to just jump on a bandwagon, but I'm looking at this Lost Zone bacchanal here, and I'm saying, well, boy, it given me a lot of PTSD from Yu-Gi-Oh and Macrocosmos that used to send everything to the Banished Zone, and it just shut down all the decks. And in Yu-Gi-Oh, in my time, remember, in a deck like that, you join them because you can't beat them. Lost Zone thoughts and Giratina and Lost Zone vibes coming in Lost Origin. What do you think you're going to do to meta and thing?
So it's looking interesting, but I'm more interested in like the Hesea and Zorak deck that come in with it. But the Lost Zone looks interesting. The deck looks like a good deck. I'm not sure how good it will do in matchups. I'm not sure because I already read into it, so I'm not sure how it would play out in the long run. But it looks interesting. But I'm more interested I was more watching the Zorak, Hesea and Zorak deck.
I realize people sleeping on this history on Electrode V, and that's going to, I feel that going to be like a sleeper because it is do some stuff with the Lost Zone and it doesn't use energy to attack.
The no attack. I had to check it. I know like some of my popular YouTubers would talk about it and hype it up, but I personally haven't looked into it. I don't know if you know it. I wait to share what it is do.
Yeah, that's what I was saying. So I waiting to see what going to happen with the set because I'm not going to just watch this and be like, yeah, looking good on paper and just try to spend money on stuff. I want to see things play. I want to see how it performing. And if I actually like this style, then, I might look to invest into it, depending. But I ain't just going wild this rounds.
Yeah. A specialist?
Me, I'm an Arceus boy to heart, so I wouldn't be looking to build a new deck per se. If anything goes well with Arceus,
everything,
then I'll consider it.
I see a Giratina and Arceus build already.
What about Arceus Kyrium?
If he max?
Yeah. Even the air dog, Arceus going everything. So it's
anything.
Yeah, so to say I'll build a deck specifically from Lost Origins, no. But if once something good in that deck goes good with Arceus,
yeah. I think I want to flex my Arceus a bit because I haven't played. I have the set there just sit down. Arceus and even the Ralydon to go with it. I have Pikachu's to go with it. I have a lot of variants that I could build with the Arceus and I haven't touched it yet. I just playing around with ants. And I
You
think
need to put them on stress and play the Darkrai that you have been talking about from day
it
one.
finished.
That you
When I
finally
tell
finish. And you,
when I tell all it finished, I was missing the training course, and Daiwa was so relentless on that training course, you know.
and I bring it for you and you still didn't do it.
Yeah.
Leon, I say play what you like. Because I tell you, I buy an Ice Rider deck, played one tournament, and was like, I going back to my party. This is not for me.
So it is good.
No,
So it is good.
you should always play what you love because you'll always remember certain things. You'll know what prize is there and those kind of things.
Yeah.
Yeah. Let's
You'll
take
have
that.
a better understanding and you'll play better with a deck that you love.
Yeah.
I went.
Don't be surprised to see Turnitus for one last hurrah before the year done.
I just want to see Lapras get some kind of support in Lost Origins. I could swing with that one last time before it rotates.
Yeah.
Probably won't happen, but
You know, at some point in time, I did play a Lapras GX deck, right? That was that thing.
yeah, but I wasn't around for that.
Yeah, Lapras used to slap for 3 energies, so 160 and paralyze.
Mm-hmm.
That was good.
Yeah.
That
What
was
deck was I running? Was I running Vicar
I
Volt
think it was
around then?
Lapras
Or?
by itself.
No, I'm trying to remember what I was running around then. If it was Vicar Volt or if it was Tapu Bulu. I ran Tapu Bulu for a long time.
All right. So we I think we but before we head to the final remarks and closing here, I want to slip in any thoughts on the VG, the video game Scarlet and Violet that coming out.
Brother man.
For one getting in, at least to get my game on. I know if I would jump in the competitive, of course I would play with the ladder a little bit. I might choke a couple Carib Boy VGC tournament. Who knows? I know Brando was in it. I know he gets in it. I'm not sure Specialist and Butcher if all it is get on the Switch.
The last time I went hard in Pokemon VGC was Sun and Moon, when I was breeding Pokemon and stuff. But other than that, I ain't playing a while. I would probably watch some streams and things of it. Maybe I might pick up a Switch and play it, but I'm not sure. Depends on how interesting I look into it.
Right. Specialist?
I haven't played VGC hard in a good while, but I will play it casually. I did play all besides the Arceus version. I played all casually. I beat out Sword and Shield. I beat out Black and White. I played them casually.
Nice, right.
I wouldn't get back into it competitively, like to say like showdown and thing now.
The VGC is actually my stomping grounds, not the TCG. Because the VGC is something I have been real into. And I say into, I ain't talking about watching this streamer and, okay, he using this, so I go and use this. No, I talking about, I sitting down with notebook, pencil, theory crafting, doing damage calcs, how much EVs to survive this particular attack. No, I went ham in the calculations to the point where I didn't even understand what I was doing because I'm not good at maths. And all of a sudden, I'm mathsing. So
I never went hard in any calcs, but I went hard in like breeding. Like it had, so when in Sun and Moon it had a fella who used to do wonder trades on Twitch. Like what he used to do, I think he used to have Pokemon and just wonder trade them away. So I was watching his stream, getting Pokemon from him, putting it in my game, breeding it, getting perfect ID Pokemons, EV training them, and then battle it.
Right.
I never went into calcs and stuff like that.
Yeah. I could testify for Brando's statement there because that's how me and Brando really connect. Was when I started. I think it was during the pandemic. I was doing tournaments as Carib Boy, and I said I wanted a competitive team. I'm not good at figuring it out. And Brando he built a team for me, build it from scratch, and he do a rental code, and I started to mash up the singles. With just that, he tell me, well, use this first, use that. If this jump out, pelt out that first. If you see this team, he go and lead it, and I'll crash course. And I forget what I asked. Highest I ever reached in singles was with that team. I think I reached Ultra. I didn't hit Master, but I reached Ultra with that.
That's okay.
Yeah.
I forget about that whole thing, you know. But you're right. I remember that's how it starts.
Yeah. So I could testify for that. He real whole ham, the whole hog. He went ham there with that. All right, and that no, we could close it off there now. We talk about the World Championships. We talk about the finals. We talk about what it would take for Trinidad and Tobago to reach a place like that. I hope this information is useful to somebody. It inspires somebody. That is the whole point. We're only on episode 2. So I say if I reach episode 100 and we are having regular tournaments, that will be the time to give up, right? So I have a marker for this. But I feel we are gonna take so long. We're gonna take so long.
Well, episode 100 that'll be what, like 2 years? Because it's like
I don't
every
even know.
Gen
If you're
11.
going weekly, if you're going weekly,
52 weeks a year.
I think we should go fortnightly. Fortnightly, though.
Because today was another challenge to get started, you know. But
Many things happen to talk about.
yeah, for sure. That's a big point. So I want to say thanks, guys, for taking the time to jump on the podcast here. I think we will be the regulars. So we go hold it down. We go find something to talk about. Don't worry, I go guide the topics. Yeah, this one was nice, short and sweet. But before we go, any closing remarks? Before we go, I'll throw Butcher in the fire.
What I would say to anybody who watching the game and saying they trying to get into it or they want to learn, just come to one of the 2 stores, one of the tournaments, and talk to anybody, and we would help all the build a deck and teach you how to play. Because we want to try to build the game and get more people to play.
Right.
To build on what Butcher just say briefly, if you're watching this and your problem is you don't have money to invest in a deck, trust when I tell you that's not a problem. We all build multiple decks to anticipate the same problem where you want to play and you don't have a deck, we'll give you a deck to come and play, right? Just show up. All you have to do is take the time and come. Even if it's not tournament day, just come to one of these stores and play with us. We will guide you accordingly. So don't be afraid.
Right.
Well, I don't want to be repetitive because both of them say the same thing that I would have said anyways. But to elaborate on it, I will say if your problem is transportation, right, and you having problems in finding yourself there, right? You can feel free to contact me, right? I'm on all the social media platforms, right? And I will be able to help you with that situation.
Oh yeah, I
have
could
no
do that
problem
too. Right. Yeah, me too.
Yeah,
I'll do that too.
And everything you guys say, I will endorse by saying that you have done everything that you have offered there. I've seen we all offer decks, offer drop, offer transport to and from. So it's not new, it's not new imagining. I've seen you guys in action doing that and offering that. So we go build the thing, we go reach World Championships, right? We go watch Brando and Chin on TV. And I do that for spy. We will all be boarding a plane.
Both of them is the best, though. Brando
families.
and Lucien is the best.
Yeah. He's the best. Yeah.
Yeah.
I real tired. In my closing, I real tired of all these split tournaments. I need to see some finals and semis.
All right. Next tournament, we're going straight up.
Yeah, belt chain. Yeah.
Right? Nice.
Okay.
All right, guys. So it was nice. To the next one. All you know what to do, beat up that like button, bust a subscription. This is your boys, the specialist, Butcher, Brando, and Carib Boy, all saying out.